Good morning, students. Today is Tuesday, and we are still at the beginning of our week in distance learning. I am so excited for you guys to get to work more on writing this week. So this is going to be a big focus today in our morning message and on Seesaw. Here we go. Good morning, bright scholars. Today is Tuesday, September 22nd. This month has flown by. This week, we are beginning to write in our spiral notebooks from the Distance Learning Kit. Please make sure that you are saving your writing in the notebook, not ripping it out, and using the notebook properly. Great writers have the spirals on the left side while they write, and they often skip lines. Try doing this in your writing. I can't wait to see your handwriting skills put to use. I have really enjoyed getting to meet with all of my students one-on-one. It is so much fun to get to talk and share things about our week. You all are amazing. Oh, we weren't done yet. Finally, please remember that our word of the week is integrity. Integrity means doing what is right all of the time. I am thankful that my students have integrity. I am the luckiest teacher. Make it a happy day. Love always, Miss Wilson. And our joke of the day is, what is brown, hairy, and wears sunglasses? Brown, hairy, and wears sunglasses. The answer is a coconut on vacation. Here is our agenda for today, second graders. We just are reading our morning message right now. And again, these can be found on Seesaw. Our small group sessions for today start at 8:45, and I have Sammy, Reeve, Lucas, and Riley. At 9 o'clock, our whole class will log on, and we have a reading review. At 9:15 to 9:30, I have Sammy, Reeve, Lucas, and Riley, Taylor, Landon, Jake, and Gracelyn. At 9:30, Taylor, Landon, Jake, and Gracelyn will stay on with me, and then my open office hours start around 9:45. If you have questions, feel free to pop on. If you just want to say hi, anything like that. You will then log into Clever and Seesaw. You'll have a Tuesday Start Here slide. Your Tuesday reading lesson is going back to asking questions while reading. And I want you to write your actual question that you have, okay? You're not answering these yet. If you want to go back and see if you've answered your questions, that's great. But format your writing on Seesaw as a question, so I can tell that you're thinking curiously while you read. You'll have a Tuesday grammar lesson over verbs and their different endings. You'll have some vocabulary practice. Your writing activity, which we'll talk more about in our video coming up, is editing strategies in your journal. You'll have another math review, and this will be practice with our addition number stories. You guys will log on to Exact Path today. You'll have a Tuesday social studies activity over our leaders. Then you'll have your daily iStation or reading practice of choice, and your In Here slide plus handwriting. Don't forget to upload pictures of your handwriting. And today you should have uploaded page 28, or by the end of today, you should have completed through page 28. All right, and I want to look at this for a minute. This was something I struggled with a lot when I was in elementary school. I loved writing, and I kind of thought I was really good at it, and I didn't understand, okay, why do I need to go back and edit my work? What I did the first time is perfect. I'm good to go. But writers, editing only shows how much potential our work has, okay? Nobody's work is perfect to start out with. All good writers go back and edit and revise their work. And this leads me to our next question. What is the difference between editing and revising? And I have a video from a great author. She wrote the Fenway and Hattie series, and she's going to walk us through what is the difference between editing, which is what you'll focus on today, and revising, because you may have heard both. Edit your writing, you revise your writing. What's the difference? Here we go.
So, I want to talk to you about the difference between revising and editing. Revising is something that you do after you've written your first draft. You take a look at that story, maybe you read it over again, maybe you share it with other writers in your class or with someone whose opinion you value. Ask for their feedback. I'll talk more about that in another video. Think about ways you could re-envision your story. Revising, is a word that means to see again. So it really means to take a look at your story again, the whole story, not just one part, and think about it. Is this story as strong as it can be? Is my character as interesting as they can be? Is the plot, that is the storyline that unfolds, is it really as exciting or as satisfying as it can be? And of course, it isn't after the first draft. No story is perfect on the first try. So there's always going to be ways to strengthen it, to make it better. That is what revision or revising is all about. Editing is...
Okay, so before she moves on, writers, revising, you're changing the content. Maybe you want to develop a character in a different way. Maybe you need to switch around some paragraphs to better sequence your story. Okay, you're not focusing on any mechanics or the capital letters or the punctuation or the subject and predicate. You're not focusing on that when you revise. When you revise, you're changing and making the content of your story better. You're making it come alive more. Okay, now she's going to talk about what editing is.
Is something very different. Editing means going through your sentences or your lines and trying to make sure that they are as strong as they can be. So you want to do things like look for repeated words. You don't want to use the same word over and over again. You want to vary your words. You don't want to have any spelling mistakes, so fix your spelling. Punctuation. Make sure your capitalization is correct. Fixing those kinds of mistakes and strengthening your language. If a sentence is too long, maybe make it a little bit tighter. If you're not using descriptive words or strong verbs, you can go in and edit and change those. That is editing. And editing is something that doesn't happen until the very, very end. You might do it after your second draft. It might be after your third draft. It might be after your fourth draft. I didn't edit Fenway and Hattie until I had written so many drafts. I don't even remember what it was, but it was literally years after I had written the first draft. So I don't, of course, expect you to wait that long, but I want to make the point that revising is not the same thing as editing. And don't worry about fixing your spelling, your punctuation, your grammar, things like that until you get to the end.
All right, readers, because we're not really writing long entries yet. You guys are more responding to a prompt. We're just focusing on editing this week in Seesaw. Now, when we start writing stories and when we start writing personal narratives, we are going to revise first, always. You might have 3 or 4 drafts. We're going to revise and then go back and edit. So you guys can save these editing skills. Especially when we start writing longer, you guys will need to remember how we edit. And last year, my friends had a blue pen for revising and a red pen for editing. And so I could go back and see, oh yeah, they're revising with their blue pen. They're scratching stuff out. They're cutting parts of their story and moving it to a different section. That's what good writers do. They revise and then they go back and edit. Okay, so I challenge you guys to keep this in mind today and later when we start writing longer pieces in the classroom. Have a wonderful Tuesday. I miss you guys more and more every day. I hope we're back very soon. Bye, friends.